Hey guys, welcome back to This Week in Metal for the 11th of the 8th, 2019. I am Super Metal Brother Matt.
And I'm Super Metal Brother Dane.
We are the Super Metal Brothers. We're just taking a look at This Week in Metal, basically, and starting it all off from the very top is Wacken Open Air has hit the Australian shores. Now, it's not really about, obviously, playing the most amazing concert ever that has like 200,000 people going to it from all across the world. It's just a matter of the bands being able to play in front of 200,000 people in the world in Germany.
It's pretty exciting, yeah. So in January next year, all around Australia, all the bands, local, there's probably rules. I haven't read all the rules, but you have a chance to win a competition to play in Wacken, man. How cool is that?
The funny thing about it is that it's almost like an interesting dilemma for the bands. I mean, yeah, you get to play in front of probably a crowd that you can only dream of, but if you do win it, you know, forking up the funds for it, what slot you're going to get, how you're going to make it work in another country you don't know. I mean, it would be an interesting dilemma to have. I'm sure a preferred one, but nevertheless.
Yeah, you can't really pay for that publicity and that. To get there through all the hard yards, this takes probably about 5 years of hard work to get there. And nobody gets to Wacken in the end. So if you get there through winning a competition, that's fantastic. Unless they like butchering like one of the week before shows. Oh, here's like the opening of Wacken. Here's the week before no one gets to see you, but hopefully not.
Unfortunately for Perth, though, all the guys on the western states, there is no dates for you guys. They have. Sorry, there is one. Sorry, for Perth.
There is.
The problem is, though, there's a final. The final is in Melbourne. So if you happen to win it in Perth, it's going to be a bit of a flight for you guys.
I should get used to it. If you're going to fly to Melbourne, you can fly to Germany. So
yeah, that's right.
It's all part of it.
But all the main cities are there. In fact, there's even two in Melbourne, which is obviously these days the center of music or in arts in the country. So why not have two there, I guess. Yeah. So will it be, you know, they get two winners maybe, you know, two chances of Melbourne winning. Is it a bit of bias? Who knows, Danny?
Maybe Hoagie will be one of the judges. Huh? What's that buttering up, eh?
But I think if you're a band, you've got to go for it. I mean, there's nothing. This is probably the biggest battle of the bands. Normally, it's just a sexy tagline that they do to entice your friends to, you know, depart with their $10 for a gig. This actually feels like, you know, if you win, you've pretty much got the holy grail of metal.
There's like out of the band comps, it's like University Open Week and you're playing in the grass. It's like, no metal's allowed. It's just like folk rock. But
there is some problems that you guys need to be taken aware of. Your band doesn't have to have a deal, which is good. Your band can easily play a 30-minute set. So if all these people have 29 minutes or 31 minutes, this isn't the thing for you.
Oh, no.
You're not a band that has won before. So if you have won before...
There was before?
Yeah, okay, I guess in general. Like, so if you've gone to another country and you're like, you know, I did so well in Pakistan, this time I'm going to make it. No, you can't. You're going to have to take your pack core medal somewhere else.
Yeah.
Bands that won national or international finals can't participate anymore either. So even if you won it nationally... you can't keep going. So like, even though you've never been there before, maybe you can't have a chance to enter
I'm just thinking, can Metallica enter this?
Nah.
Why not?
Yeah, they could.
They haven't won any finals.
Imagine? It's like, oh, that Metallica, man. No, the poor things. I know what they are. But if you have it, guys, send your application, demo CD, 3 to 4 songs, photo, band info, and contact address to the address of your national promoter department. We don't have that details for you. But if you want to, go to metalbattle.com. So with all your bands out there, in Australia, we have warned you.
Great. Exciting times.
All right, Phil Anselmo, he says, pleas for him to perform Pantera songs became irresistible after Vinnie Paul's death. And that's the thing, you know, even when they were alive, everyone was hoping, like when Vinnie Paul, we had Red Brown and Phil Anselmo. The dream was that maybe they'd get another guitarist to fill in and they would do it. The only problem was that, Vinnie Paul never really liked Phil Anselmo after it. And they never batted up, even though Phil Anselmo wanted to do it.
Yeah, but wasn't Phil Anselmo still doing like a 1 or 2 Pantera covers before Vinnie Paul died? I thought it was like...
Oh, even Red Brown was doing it. He was doing Mouth for War, I think. You know?
Yeah, we saw when he came down and opened for, I think it was Killswitch in his other band. Yeah, and he played one cover.
That's right.
So I guess he was already playing covers, but now like Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, I saw him a couple of months ago. It literally is like the first half of the set is his illegal stuff and the next half of the set is all Pantera. So I guess he's just made it more prominent and permanent having Pantera covers.
Well, we have here a quote from Phil Anselmo talking to Revolver, and it was about Vinnie Paul's death. It was something that stopped me dead in my tracks. I was in the kitchen and I dropped to the floor and I just had to breathe for a little while. Then there was a big plea for us to do more Pantera songs, became irresistible. The tribute had to be then, it had to be right, and I never thought it would be the Illegals. Clearly the mission for us was to be sweaty hole in the wall death metal band. Got to say huge props to them for learning the Pantera material. They didn't even flinch, man. They just went for it. I mean, what better way than paying homage to a massive band and quite an influential band in the metal community, and up to a payday that probably was unparalleled to what they've seen before and may ever see again.
Yeah, I don't think they had any issues like playing Pantera songs. They probably grew up listening to it as well. So like, oh, this is sweet, get to play this live and play my own stuff. So, no, good on him. I guess Phil's going to keep doing it. I think he's going to slow down doing Pantera covers. I'm not sure if he enjoys it. Maybe he's preferring people love him for the Illegals now rather than loving him for Pantera. But who knows?
Well, we'll wait and see, I guess. We'll move on to the Dayton shooter. Now, obviously, there's this bloke here who took about, I think it was 9 people. So this guy killed 9 people, including his sister, known as the Daytona shooter.
Terrible.
But now, obviously, the media's twisting it a bit. Obviously, he was in a porno grind band, and that means, obviously, that led him to, go out and, eradicate, close loved ones or whatever.
Yeah.
We've heard this argument before with video games a lot, with the Columbine shootings.
Well, only last week, they all came out and said video games are part responsible for the other killing which happened last week in America. So now, heavy metal video games,
chuck it in there, it doesn't, even though we'll talk about something a little bit later, how another study's come out to refute that. We've got a couple of the classic left-leaning to basically left-leaning so hard you end up falling over the desk and hitting Bernie Sanders on the way down.
Right in the end. Whoa.
Yeah. So we've got BuzzFeed here describing porno grind as a subgenre of a fast, extreme kind of heavy metal called grindcore, which is known for mostly dark, satirical themes of sexual violence, gore, delivering of shock value. Now that's actually quite tame for BuzzFeed's demographic.
I think that's taking probably straight out of Wikipedia. That's probably a fair. They haven't actually. Yeah, they actually haven't.
So we had to go to Vice News to find the most reactionary, knee flicking reaction to the Dayton shooters, and here we have it. Dayton shooter was in a porno grind band, quotations. This is obviously all in capital letters because you have to.
Very angry.
That released songs about raping and killing women. That's it. That's all.
That's all you need to know, man.
All you need to know. That's why they're dead. That's because you couldn't rape them.
I guess so, yeah. He sang songs about gross things and decided to take it to the next level.
I did myself a favor and I checked out the band on YouTube. I couldn't actually find any material of them on the CD, but live I was fortunate enough to find some stuff, and it's not very good. It's a minute long, which is usually pretty
for grindcore. That's kind
of in the way there. Songs are quite a bit slower. The distortion's bad, and everyone says "dude" a lot between songs.
Oh, okay.
So, even the cover artwork, you've got one of the EPs is called Menstrual Munchies. It's like a dog, what appears to be... so there's one with like a woman eating poo, and one other album called Preteen Daughter Pussy Slaughter. So obviously, you know what you're getting with these guys. He's on the front cover, and that's all you need to know about it.
Yeah, so the shock value thing. But again, it's the same thing we have to say over and over again. Metal or music or anything like that, reading a book, watching a movie, nothing makes you wanting to carry out violent atrocities like this. If you're saying it comes down to like some sort of media influence, then you have big issues.
Good news here is another study that finds that heavy metal is good for your mental health. This person we have to thank now is, because we talked about it the first time here on the show, but this one here is lecturer Cardiff Metropolitan University called Nick Perham. It's a study done by Nick. And there's a quote here which is perfectly sums up what we're going to talk about this article with. Fans who were made angry and then listened to heavy metal music did not increase their anger, but increase their positive emotions, suggest that listening to extreme music represents a healthier and more functional way of processing anger. So what we could argue here is that those Dayton shooters were not listening to enough metal.
Yeah.
Because they just got tapped into the happy thoughts and they weren't listening to enough. So what music genre, Daniel, can we blame for it? If metal isn't... And we have to have a scapegoat, all right? Because... they've said that music is an influence, and we've proven here that metal isn't. Is it rap? Is it pop music? Because every time I hear pop music, I feel like my world's coming down, man.
Well, whoever decides to like invade countries and kill people, so anyone who's top military, top government officials, find out what music they listen to.
Country music?
I don't know. We got to ask
Texas.
We should do a survey and find out whatever music these top government officials, military officials are listening to. That is obviously the most evil and aggressive form of music. Full of like subtle words and imagery which makes you want to kill people.
The The Cardiff Metropolitan University is a study from Nick Burham. Even goes deep from further into it. With metal fans tend to be more open to new experiences, which manifests itself in preferred music that is intense, complex, and unconventional, alongside a negative attitude towards institutional authority. Some do have lower self-esteem, however, and the need of uniqueness. One might conclude that this is other negative behaviors are the result of listening to heavy metal, but same research suggests that maybe listening to the music is cathartic. So it's not metal's fault.
Yeah, but it's a good point they make that a lot of people who listen to metal are also anti-authoritarian, which makes sense because metal is not authoritarian. It's like you're seeking something out which is not the norm, and you want to experience something different.
Exactly. You're obviously pissed off with your institution or your social network or something that's drawn you to this this art form that's perceived from a lot of people as being exactly this, rage-inducing rifle shooting.
Well, the only thing I know all these guys have in common is one, they all carry guns. That's a pretty obvious thing.
Yeah.
They all breathe air.
Yeah.
They drink water, and I'm betting they all eat carrots. So I have a feeling one of those could
eater.
Could be the carrot thing is the reason why they become heavy metal and become mass shooters.
All right, well, moving on to Sanctuary. This here was Warradane's old band. If you don't know who Warradane is, you probably don't know who Nevermore is. And if you don't know who Nevermore is, well, I suggest they go out and buy Danny Dead Heart in a Dead World immediately.
Yeah,
and listen
otherwise
to it.
you become sad.
And listen to it as many times as you can before you realise this is your new favourite band.
Yeah, and then you realise they don't exist anymore.
And then it makes you sad again. Yeah, welcome to our world. The new vocalist though,
yeah, we have to.
Joseph Michael is now in the band. He debuted at Headbangers Open Air in Germany. Congratulations. So there you go. That was
even our phone agreed.
Lemmy and I have taken our time getting to know each other as songwriters before really digging and starting to write the record. Warwa and Lenny were such a magic combination, and though there is no way to get back, we have stumbled upon something unique, yet still familiar with diehard fans, which is very exciting for the old diehard fans. What we are striving for is to meld our musical palettes in a way that gives fans something new without messing with the DNA that makes the band stand out among peers. I wish certain bands that we reviewed do the same thing, or at least acknowledge that which they should do.
Well, I'd go back to the old school.
Acknowledge it at least, not leaning it too hard where you start to just regurgitate it, but at least, know that you are a metal band. One band that comes to mind, Killswitch Engage. Remember that ballad we talked about last week? They used to do ballads back in the day, but there was still a Killswitch Engage twist. Now they're just you're going to buy their albums. Why do they have to try?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And all the really die-hard fans would be like, nah, that's just awesome anyway. Like, they just changed the whole style, which still makes them awesome. It's all right, fine.
Super awesome.
Fine then.
Daniel, Steve Harris is proud of his children having successfully opened for Iron Maiden. Dude, the amount of hard work, dedication, and knowing the right people that had to do it. I mean, a lot of people have to go out into the real world, go to certain venues, meet certain people they'll never know. These people just happen to be born, fall out of their mum's vagina, and then they just turn to their dad and say, "Can I have a gig for Thingo?"
To be fair, they had to learn the instruments, man. So that's something.
That's true.
That is something. And write their own song.
And write their own songs. Doesn't his daughter come out to the show without wearing shoes or something? Didn't she do a set list like that?
She did.
I'm like, but you're an Iron Maiden. You can afford the best shoes. Why are you not wearing shoes?
But to be fair, Ian Gillan started wearing shoeless as well. So maybe be sensitive, feel music through the ground maybe. But the thing is that
you're on stage, it's you're so further from on the ground.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe the vibrations through the floor helps him. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe they're actually deaf. Well, actually, Ian Gillan's probably deaf, so he has to do was it Beethoven type thing?
Well, he's come out and talked to Buffalo News and he said, "I'm proud of them. It's a tough gig because, as you know, Iron Maiden fans are fiercely loyal a lot, and I tell them just go out there and don't worry about it. On the side of the pond, they often stay out tailgating and have fun while opening acts play. It's just the way it is, just to go out there and do it," and they did. I doubt they'd boo you because then you're gonna be like, well, if you're gonna boo my daughter, I'm not gonna play.
Yeah.
And then a lot of your fans will be like, we're sorry, Mr. Harris. We'll never do that ever again. Yeah. I don't think he understands the power I think he has over those Iron Maiden fans. I mean, the only ones who are just as psych is probably Tool fans. There's no other way of thinking about it.
True, but at least Iron Maiden write interesting songs and fun songs.
It's debatable.
But no one really cares about opening bands. Really, it's a rare thing that people go for an opening band.
I saw Incubus, and they decided what they were going to do is piss the crowd off by playing drum and bass music. And this is Incubus's fan base. Basically your music now these days, your grandmother will enjoy. And everyone was angry because they were like, "Well, this isn't a rock band." So the DJ was infuriating everyone. So when Incubus came on stage, everyone popped. Greatest performance performance ever because they were deprived of happiness for so long they forgot how it felt.
So maybe
like.
it was a ploy by Steve Harris to make I May Look Even Better.
Well, I think it's how Steve Harris sees it. It's like, I think if he was more truthful, like, look, my kids, they came out of my balls. So, of course, I have to, because I don't want to be yelled at from my partner for not including them, you know, because I can't, he doesn't take them out for picnics and stuff.
The other is just probably like, look, I couldn't get a babysitter, right? And
Exactly.
I was like, well, if you play guitar or drums, have a band, then you can tour with me. I don't need to buy a babysitter. We've already owned our own plane, so I don't have to pay for your accommodation.
Female Mrs. Steve Harris is probably like, if we're not going to do it, then we're not going to get any of this. And he's like, well, I'd rather let you guys play in front of 85,000 people and me have sex than not. So,
yeah.
I wish it just seems a little insincere, Steve. I'm just saying. But good for you, for your kids.
Yeah, I mean, him just saying, I'm sure he probably hears the, I don't know, irony is the word, but probably hears the, well, it's nepotism, I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
But it's, look, in the end, why not? Give his kids a go. In the world, it's pretty much who you know. It doesn't matter how good you are in the world, it's who you know. And his kids happen to know him.
That's right.
And
maybe he's proud because he had to sit them down, like, you have to learn the instruments properly. And he sat them down, and before you knew it, they actually came through like this moment, and it was all clear.
But in the end, like, they might open for Maiden, but unless they've got good music, no one's going to buy it.
No, that's right. Exactly.
So, you know.
You've opened for my man. It's way more than I can say I've ever done in my life. So if you want to hold that in my head, you're more than welcome to.
So it's such a great head start, having a famous family father, and he gives you a chance to open for his awesomely popular band. If you can't make it work, then your songs aren't good, and you aren't good, and you should feel really bad.
All right, let's finish it off then with Adam Jones. The new Tool album is, thankfully for your Tool fans, 85 minutes long.
Gosh.
And for people who managed to not enjoy anything that's been leaked so far, and they've been told by the fans, by the people that you're wrong. You know, 85 minutes, whatever this is going to be amazing. That's what we have to know.
One song was 9 minutes.
Yeah.
The one we saw was 12.
Yeah.
So that's 21 minutes. So take that. That's 64 minutes on 5 songs.
Yeah.
That's all the other songs are at least, what's that? 14 or 13 minutes, 12 minutes each, whatever it is. So every song is a freaking 3 songs at once. Oh, it's ridiculous.
The worst thing that came out though this week was another article that basically we can intertwine with this one from Maynard, and he came out and said that there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to enjoy this album because it takes engagement. So if you don't have the patience for that, you're probably not going to like this album. So there you go. They have managed to somehow foolproof any negative comments, and the fans are going to eat this up.
Oh, and
you just know that anyone that's come out and say to them, this song sucks, it's like, you didn't get it.
Yeah. And the best thing about it, there's actually 2 additional like angles the fans can say. One, I think the guitarist came and said, oh, all the albums based around like the number 7. Like, all right, so now there's a concept album now. Like, oh shit. But then Maynard came and said, oh, all the songs about, you know, giving life a go if you get knocked down and get back up and stuff. So now there's all these different angles that the fans have. Well, you just obviously didn't get all 3 connections, did you?
I want to put out a challenge to Tool fans out there. Now, I know Tool fans are a passionate lot and whatever.
That's fine.
But there has to be a song out there from Tool that you don't like. Now, if there's not a song that Tool's ever done that is bad, then unfortunately you have some sort of nostalgia goggles that are so thick that they're poisoning your head. And you might need to go to, you know, the same place your nanny goes for her drugs.
Indoctrinated by like a cult or something.
Yeah.
Like it's
so if you could go to the comments and let us know what song it is, because if you guys can't, then you guys have to agree that everything that this band's going to do in your life is shaded with some sort of mystical arena. Like even Beethoven was throwing up bricks at one point, or, you know, Queen, they've got bad songs, you know, like name a band, they've done something that's bad.
Yeah.
So we have to review this album now because we've let our feelings been felt, and we've been reciprocated by the community and almost ostracized by it, but at the same time, you know.
But I'm starting to hear a lot of other people on, like, not here, but read a lot of other comments on these like metal Facebook page, etc. And they're all starting to say similar things that we kind of have said. So there's people out there who can't agree.
People either love it or are underwhelmed by it and find it boring, and that's the thing, you know. And I think we would get along this world better if people can acknowledge that they're allowed to hate something and even trash it without other people getting super angry and defensive about it. Because
that's right,
it's Tool. They made billions of money. They own wineries, crying out loud. So,
and if you were a true fan of Tool, you would attack the criticisms, not just say everything is good. So unless you're a true Tool fan, you won't be that person.
All right. So that's the end of our show for this week in metal. If you guys got any other suggestions, let us know in the comments for next week. Until then, though, I'm Super Metal Brother Matt.
And I'm Super Metal Brother Dave.
We are the Super Metal Brothers. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you next week.